just to the two that are already on board at the city, from our involvement in the parks, I just want to say I think the parks have done a great job with what they've done with us, and I just wanted to pass that on because I'm happy with what they've done in relation with us. But my question is, in addressing pensions specifically, because it's such a hot button issue, the drop program, whether, you know, I believe it started with the state and everybody said, well, we just fell in line. Well, now it's to me a big issue. So I'd like to know how and how you handle it, what your thoughts are.
Okay, whose turn is it to go first?
I guess
Mike, up there?
The biggest problems we face, there's no question about it. The market situation, our pensions have become a real drain on our general fund, there's no doubt about it. We're kind of cornered a little bit because state law, insofar as firemen and police and this type of thing, have got us a little bit hooked insofar as just making blanket decisions because we can't do everything we want to do. But pensions have got to be addressed. Every city in the state of Florida is wrapped around this particular problem. That's why first thing I'm going to do is get the right people together and let's have a pension summit, if you will. And once again, I'm talking about consultants, I'm talking about business people in Pensacola who deal with this every day, who can give us some advice. What we'd like to do moving down the road is that everybody go into the FRS system. That would help us, that's where the county is. But because of our agreements and because of some state law, we just can't do that as quickly as we would like. So the pensions are a problem, but I promise you it will be very top of my list when I become the new mayor.
Thank you, Mike. Let's see, Diane go next, and then Charles.
Yes, thank you, Bill. Unfortunately, it's not so much state law. We are hamstrung by two unions. And in fact, at committee meeting today, after some out of the sunshine discussions, the city council in committee of the whole agreed to the latest collective bargaining agreement with the police sergeants and the police officers. And it includes us having basically to back off the pension reform that that we wanted to get done. And because we have agreed to the latest collective bargaining with the police, the firefighters who are coming next, theirs is going to be up. We'll probably have to do the same. And because you have to be fair across the board, that means that the general pension fund employees also, we will not be able to make the two changes that we wanted to make. What is the solution? That is a question that I would get the best labor lawyer I can possibly get a hold of to help us figure it out. Because until we can, get past those collective bargaining agreements, we are stuck with those pensions. Now there is, as the mayor did mention, there is some indication that in future negotiations we may be able to bring new. Part of the solution will be to get them in the Florida retirement system instead of the separate pension funds, and we may be able in the next round of collective bargaining to have that begin happening. But what will happen is that what the unions will agree to is, well, all your new hires can go into the Florida retirement system, but we who have all this cushy stuff, no, we're going to keep ours. So it is not insoluble, but it is very difficult to solve, and the mayor is going to have to be very, very tough on that issue.
It's interesting, when I got in the race, I wanted to check and see what other cities' liability was when it came to pensions, and Jacksonville gets mentioned a lot as a city that's a consolidated government, and it's cost savings and all this, and our unfunded liability mentioned was like $80 million a few months ago at least, and Jacksonville's was $1.6 billion. So, I mean, it's a much bigger economy, obviously, but everyone's facing this right now. I think one of the things we're looking at, is it's a commitment that we've made to employees, and it's a commitment that you all probably have had in jobs where you had a pension plan or some type of retirement set up, that there was a commitment made to you when you became an employee. And I find it very difficult to go in and just yank that out from under people once they're in the system. I think what we really need to look at is future employees, although right now we're not hiring anybody, so you can't really see any benefit of that right now. I think FRS would be a good way to go, but again, I think in the union case, they probably won't go that way. So we need to look at ways that we can deal with this in our budget. It's like any other liability that we would have based on decisions of the past, which is kind of what we're entering into now with Community Maritime Park. We're going to have to deal with this liability some way. But I think ultimately we have to look at, in the future, hopefully sometime in the future, even though hope's not a strategy, I am hopeful that at some point we'll be able to start hiring people again. Who knows what impact oil is going to have on our economy and the sales tax and property tax, but if at some point we start hiring people, I think we'll start to see some savings from being able to make some changes.
Okay, thank you.
Bill,
Ashton.
that's a great question, Bill. And we've all read newspapers around the country and around the world what's going on with over in Europe, for example, with Portugal, Ireland, Greece, and Spain. It's no different over here in the United States right now. Municipalities around the country are going bankrupt. They're upside down. Mobile County's in trouble. Pritchard County's in trouble. LA County, we know what's going on with the state of California. In Pennsylvania, they're having issues right now. Charles is correct. Jacksonville's over $1 billion in the hole right now. And the city of Pensacola's got $100 million unfunded liability. And this is going to be one of the #1 things the mayor is going to have to do is get in there and get an independent financial team to analyze this and see how we're going to be able to save our city in the aspect of a financial standpoint. It gets back to what we're talking about tonight. It's creating the right jobs and bringing the right companies here and the right people here to grow our city. But that is a major, major issue that keeps getting pushed off from past councils, et cetera, et cetera. We all know this in the room. That story gets told over and over, and we haven't attacked it and done anything about it. But that's going to be a big issue for a strong mayor, and I look forward to putting the right team in place to fix it.
Okay, thank you. So, anybody left on that question?
We got it. We got it.
Okay.